So I just got one of the toughest conversations I've had with a brother that's ever hit me up asking for my guidance on something. A man that's currently in the middle of, well, he just recently got handed papers for a divorce. I think 13 years, 5 children. And I say recently, I'm not going to say exactly how long now because I've been talking to this man for the last, little while. And again, 13 years, 5 children. His wife just filed for divorce. And it was tough because I had to tell him she gave up on you for a reason. In these situations, I want to be able to say, because I'm all for the family. I'm all for the family staying together, coming back together if something happened. But I understand there are times where the healthiest thing for 2 people is to just part ways. I'm not one of those people that believes that a family is only broken whenever the mother and father is no longer together. I actually believe there's no way a family can be unbroken or whole if the backbone of that family is in pieces. And what's going on in that home is continuing to shatter that backbone of the family further into pieces. Meaning the mom, the woman. There's some people who feel like, well, all is well long as the mom is there and the mom is staying with the dad and don't matter whatever he do, she's just gonna stick in there, becoming less and less of herself and depressed and anxious and neglected and hurt and disrespected. And long as they together though, that's the whole family. So I'm not one of those people that subscribe to that. I actually believe it's a lot healthier for two people to pursue health on their own and 2 healthy households. That's better than one broken one because it's glued together in the eyes of everybody else. So anyway, I want to talk to men, and I want women to vouch for me if I'm telling the truth, because honestly, I feel in my heart I told that man the truth, but I can't really speak strictly for women. So I'm kind of coming to y'all to see what y'all think about this. But without getting into his specifics, again, 13 years, 5 children, and just based on his situation, we've had a couple of conversations now. And it wasn't the funnest thing I had to tell him, but I know that I feel like I told him the right thing. One reason a woman will give up on a man, even though she still loves him, even though she's deeply invested, even though y'all live together, maybe even married, like this situation, is because with your words, you refer to her as a queen, but with your actions, you made her look like a clown for holding you down. You made her look like a clown for defending you to her friends who tried to tell her that you wasn't ish, that you was moving a certain way behind her back. You made her look like a clown for loving on you and being proud of being with you. You made her look stupid. You made her look foolish. You made her look dumb. You made her look naive. I know I'm saying some harsh words, but a woman will give up on you if you saying one thing to her face just to keep her attached to your disrespect. Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. Am I speaking facts or fiction? Am I speaking facts or fiction? A woman will even though she loves you, if you making her look stupid over and over and over and over again, that woman's going to check out of the relationship. Because women naturally, the intuition that God gave them was designed to protect that crown. That's what the intuition is about. Women came in as a favor factor. Women are the 2.0. When God made man, he said, not quite good enough by himself. I need this other part to maximize and complete the vision I have of being in my image. And so a woman is naturally the crown. She's the top piece. She's the cherry on top. It's just what it is. So anything that goes against that crown being there is going to aggravate her intuition. And at a certain point, if your actions, if you are coming to full agreement with trashing this woman or doing her in a certain way that got people looking at her and laughing at her, that's why a lot of times, the betrayal, if you betray a woman, it's one thing if you betray. But if you got people around also laughing at her, brother, you may have pushed that into a space of no return if it wasn't already there. I told him this, but I'm telling men this. A woman will truly give up on you even if she still loves you. She may still be attached to you. Deep down, it may tear her up inside that she got to walk away. But she will do that if you call her a queen with your words, and you say this, that, and the other, but you got her looking foolish for holding you down. Okay? It seems like, okay, women, y'all with me so far. Like I said, tell me facts or fiction. If I'm speaking facts, please let me know if I'm speaking, nonsense. Ladies, I mean, y'all the ones, tell me. I'm open to being wrong. Another reason a woman will give up on you is because she put you first, but you put you first too. She put you first. When she was tired, she put you first. When she was aggravated, annoyed, she put you first. When she didn't have a lot of energy or mental capacity, but you were going through, she put you first. But at the same time, you put you first. When there was a opportunity for you to have your cake and eat it too, you put you first. When you saw that she was overwhelmed, stressed out, and she needed you, you put you first. When she came to you with whatever it is that she was bothered about, and you didn't want to make time, you were so annoyed, you so aggravated, you put you first. So now the relationship is one-sided. Now the weight of the relationship is all on her. And she has to carry it at the expense of what she needs. Now that it's one-sided, she's straining, just like you're trying to carry furniture. If it's one-sided, something gonna break, something gonna drop. And in this situation, she's the one breaking. Her hope, her optimism, her health, her focus, that's what's dropping. You get too selfish with a woman, you're gonna end up starving her out. And so she will give up on you really out of self-preservation. Ladies, let me know, speaking facts or fiction, okay? Again, this is a collaborative effort because I may be the one putting words to it, but I really need those of y'all who can relate to substantiate it so men can understand. And again, this one hits close to home. I've experienced a broken family. It ain't nothing to play with. So this brother hit me up on this. I wanted everything. Honestly, I was looking for a way to say, no, this is why you can believe that this can come back together. But even as I'm talking to him, he still don't get it. I'm like, brother, long as you don't get it, there ain't no chance. This is probably already too late because she already done, went this far. But she's seeing in you what I'm seeing in you right now. And that's that this ain't getting better. He mad at me. Mad at the wrong one. But another reason why a woman will give up on you, mentally check out of the relationship, even though her heart is still there, is because your promises and your patterns, they do not line up. Your promises and your patterns, you saying one thing about the future. You saying one thing about how you're going to get it together. You saying one thing about her needing to be patient with you because you this, that, and the other. You saying one thing, but your patterns, they're on a whole different vibe. And now she's got to, just to tolerate the relationship, she's got to ignore. She's got to ignore your promises. And you know what they say, a man is only as good as his word. So you've now made your word mean nothing to this woman. How long do you expect her to stay in that relationship? She needs to be with a man that when he says something, she at least has a 90% faith it's going to come to pass. Like he's going to do that. There may be some things outside of his control. But if he says, hey, look, I'm trying to make sure, we got enough finances to now, take some risks, take some chances to invest in you. I'm trying to make sure the money is right before we get babysitters and things like that. I'm trying to make sure, and she ain't seeing your patterns line up with that. You burning through the money. You out here enjoying the money. Maybe you spending the money on other women. Maybe you spending the money on looking good. Your patterns and your promises, they ain't lining up. Or when we get to this situation, we get to this point, well, I'm gonna tell this girl, I'm gonna tell this friend girl that there's boundaries that she need to adhere to, that she need to respect. But your patterns ain't lining up with your promises. She get to that point, man, where you say something and she roll her eyes because it's you saying it. That way she already done learned she can't really believe nothing you say, man. And no woman is going to stand there because she's losing respect for you. And if a woman cannot respect you, brother, that love it's got a timer on it. It's got an expiration date. If you done made that woman lose respect for you and everything that you say, you done now negated everything that you claim to stand for because you ain't keeping a single promise to her. Now, let's say we're not even married. Let's say you're just in a relationship. Baby, you know what I'm saying? Once I get this next job in the next 2 years, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to do this, that, and the other so we can get married. and your patterns ain't lining up with your promises, boy. Facts or fiction? Ladies, tell me. Because if I'm wrong, I do want you to correct me, so maybe I got something to learn too. But I'm just giving you based on, as your big brother, because fellas, I'm your big brother too. Based on what I've seen, I've been doing this over 10 years. I got my personal testimony, brother. I'm telling you what I know. Word to the wise. Another reason why that woman gave up on you is because your suffering did not, her suffering did not bother you. You made your suffering her priority, but her suffering didn't bother you. She picked up the phone. She stopped what she was doing whenever you needed her. But whenever she needed you, you never had time, energy, capacity. You never had time, energy, or capacity. Everything else is more important. She could be suffering at work. It can have something that don't, something that ain't got nothing to do with you. But you're supposed to be her life partner. But you see her going through life, you see her overwhelmed. You see her overstimulated. You see her exhausted. You see her depleted. You see her anxious, maybe even depressed. You see her going through these things. And you twiddling your thumbs. You sleep like a baby at night. Even worse, you still want even more from her. Ladies, put I down in the chat if you've ever been in that situation where you was with a man, and no matter what discomfort, no matter what suffering, no matter what challenges, you had to take care of you because the man you was with wasn't even worried about you. Even if you did communicate to him, I'm not okay right now. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm scared. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm frustrated. From the littlest thing, like, maybe just taking care of the house a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just a little tired and overwhelmed from having to do that every night. He did not assert himself to say, I want to be your life partner. And I'm not saying this, brothers, like you got to be all perfect. But the reason why you are even in that woman's life is to double her joys and divide her burdens. Yeah, you're supposed to do things to put a smile on her face, but guess what? Challenge is going to come. She need to know that you got her back. She need to know that she ain't the only one that's protecting her and got her back. She probably, if you got you a good woman, bro, she probably done been there for everybody else. And now she's in a relationship. She needs you to be there for her, but she don't need another person with their hand out emotionally and mentally. And that be the only thing that they bring into the table is a handout, emotionally and mentally. I got money. I don't need it. Nah, man, we talking emotionally and mentally. Because now when she's stretched thin again, now when her cup is empty, who pouring into her? And if it ain't you, she will give up on you. I'm gonna get to a point where she said, I could do bad by myself. At least then I ain't got to tend to a whole nother person. I ain't got to take on a whole nother child. Y'all, I forget where it was. Oh, pick this up. I heard a woman, and it was a lot of women agreeing with her, describe being in a relationship as like having another child. I said, wow. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? For guys that do not add value to the situation, that's exactly what it is. It's a child. Another mouth to feed. Another person to discipline. Another person to teach everything to. And somebody who ain't going to give you nothing. But the problem is that this is an adult. You see, with a child, they didn't ask to be here. Of course, we understand. A child is not supposed to give us value. No, that's not. As parents, we understand that. Women, if you got, you know what I'm saying? You understand that. Women with common sense understand that. But when you're dealing with a grown man and he feels like a child that you got to take care of, she will give up on you because she ain't that desperate. You may have gotten it twisted and thinking that she was desperate. Which brings me to number 5. The fifth reason why a woman would give up on you is because you thought she was so desperate. You thought she would never leave. She would give up on you because you thought you thought she never would. Any woman listening to this, please tell me if I'm speaking any type of truth. That if a man ever starts treating you like you ain't going nowhere, you will show him better than you can tell him. You will stop threatening. You will stop warning. You will stop foretelling and explaining. You will stop pleading with him to take you serious before your actions have to speak for you. You will stop. If you really receive the communication from that man that he genuinely thinks you ain't going nowhere, he's irreplaceable, you will show him better than you can tell him. You see, a lot of men think a woman can only replace us like, with another man. And because she's so, tunnel vision on nuts, there's no other man. The men don't exist outside of me. Boy, that ego is a hell of a drug. A woman will replace you with her peace. If you were a challenge or a threat to that, a woman will literally replace you with her peace. She don't need another man. Now, another man is going to come at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. There's billions of men out there, okay? You make yourself a liability to that woman you want to. She will eventually be found by another man. That's just keeping it real with you. But don't think that's what she needs in order to finally cut you off. You get to that point where you treat that woman like she ain't going nowhere. And that's the problem with a lot of us, that we want to act right whenever a woman is 1 foot out the door and, ultimatums and this, that, and the other. We hold that belief that that's the time when we need to act right. Instead of having a conviction that, hey, if I got this woman, there's a certain level of care and contribution I need to make sure I maintain just by having her every single day. Y'all do know a properly loved woman is a perishable item, meaning it does go bad if we do not keep it up, if we don't nurture it, if we don't renew it, if we don't do what we're supposed to do on a regular, ongoing basis. She's no longer going to be properly loved. And if you think that woman ain't going nowhere, and so therefore you just leave her out to dry, hey, look, man, at some point she's going to say, okay, he just going to have to learn the hard way. You see, a good woman who still has some level of self-esteem, she will lose you before she loses herself. If you bring her to that point where she's feeling like she's slipping away, I done seen it all over. A woman will literally say, I will lose you before I lose me. Maybe she already done lost parts of herself and she said, this ain't the road I want to continue traveling down. In a relationship, as years go on, you may have made her promises you're going to invest in her career, support her dreams. You was going to make sure that she wasn't just your servant, your maid, your penis cushion. You was going to actually make sure you supported her blossoming and evolving into the best version of herself. But you never fulfilled that. You got to a point where you got comfortable. You got complacent. You think that woman just going to join you in that complacency? See, the problem is you the only one that's comfortable. So, of course, you ain't thinking nothing about it, but she ain't comfortable. She may get quiet. Do not confuse a woman who's quiet with a woman that's comfortable with how you treat her. Quiet may mean that she's just done talking and listening. And when she gets to that point, boy, she's gone for good. Now, I need to say this, because also what I'm seeing is on the other side of this, there's a lot of women who will cut a man off. He did all this, that, and the other, right? He violated these 5 principles I just spoke on. And now you done gave up on him. But he's still lingering. He's still lingering in your thoughts. He still left you with triggers. He still left you with fears of letting somebody else in. He still essentially left you out of position for the man God has for you. Ladies, it is not your fault that you got pushed to that place and you got hurt and you got did wrong. But it is your responsibility to get back in position. If you still want what God has for you, you have to get back in position. And a part of what's keeping you out of position now is not the physical presence of that man, but the soul ties that you never cut with that man. It's literally like chains. You trying to get in position. And even if you're meeting these men, you still can't get in position to actually love them and make things work with them, even though that might be who God has for you. The chains of soul ties are keeping you from going forward and actually receiving that man and him receiving the version of you where God can clearly talk to him and say, yep, not only is this the woman, but she's also ready. Because the soul ties, I've seen so many of y'all who don't know that that's the missing piece. It's not that you now overweight. It's not that you got trust issues. It's not this, that, and the other. All of that stuff, including sometimes that stress weight that you're still carrying and you want to get rid of, is a result of a soul tie with the man who didn't deserve you. And like I said, I never present a problem without presenting a solution. Look, I'm not selling you nothing. I gave away the game just like I'm giving you free game now. But it's a bit more in depth to cut those soul ties. But if you got like an hour, some change today, click that link down here and register for the free class that teaches you step by step how to cut soul ties. It's literally called Breaking the Soul Tie. I made it available so everybody has the resources. Breaking the Soul Tie Masterclass. Register for that and come back. It's also in the caption when you back out, but I pinned it right down here in the comments. Break the Soul Tie Masterclass. So go to Derek'sFreeMasterclass.com. That's what's holding a lot of y'all who have been hurt, taken for granted, neglected, fumbled, but you still not attracting the man, or you're still not able to yoke with the man that God has for you. Even though you may have met him by now, the soul tie is almost definitely the culprit. Moral of the story is this, back to my guys out there, man. Like I said, this was really an unfortunate situation. Maybe this helps him get it. I don't know, because y'all did vouch for me. I think I saw most of y'all vouching for me. Maybe he gets it, but for anybody watching, any man watching, do not get it confused and think that a woman needs another man in order to leave you. If you come in as one version of yourself, and then you leave her no resort but to accept that you are not that man anymore, or you have never been that man, as a commitment to herself, she will absolutely give up on the commitment to you. Don't think commitment is stupidity. Don't think loyalty is naivete. Like don't confuse the two. She loyal, ain't she? She committed, ain't she? She love me, don't? Yeah, but she love herself too. And if you made her choose between that love for herself and the love for you, she always gonna choose her. Your job was to make sure both the love for herself and the love that she has for you is working toward the same goal of a properly loved version of her, so she could do the same for you. So if she gives up on you, you left her no other choice but to. Because at some point, she had to give up on everything that you promised. Because the person that you showed her wasn't capable. But those are just my thoughts. You know, I'm your internet brother, looking out for you, per usual. And if you got anything of value from this, per usual, all I ask is that, put your money away. All I ask is that you forward this to somebody else. Share this on your page so somebody else in your timeline can get blessed by this message the same way that you did. And if you want more free game, now's your chance. I put the link down here, Derek'sFreeMasterclass.com, where I went way more in depth. I mean, that's the most content-packed free masterclass I have available on how to break the soul tie. I made it really simple. Click the link down here, register for that. A link is going to come to your email so you can join in on the encore presentation of breaking